What is up, everybody? University here today. And I had to talk about this ridiculous post right here. Sony Fanboys really bragging about The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered is one of the most pathetic things I have ever seen. This Sony Fanboys are at a really low point right now because they have no first-party games this entire year, mainly focusing on third-party and games they money had to keep off Xbox. It's just so sad because even if a big game like Final Fantasy VII Rebirth does well, we're gonna be like, "Hey, Square Enix did a good job there." We're not gonna give any Sony first-party games any credit because they didn't have any first-party releases. So the only slight first-party stuff they have is The Last of Us Remastered, which is a remaster of a game from 3 years ago. But they're literally bragging about some critic reviews for this game, and it's like, really. Oh man, this is why we need Xbox to be in the console market. We need Nintendo in the console market because if we lead up to Sony and Sony Fanboys, you're gonna get these remasters of games from 3 years, and their fan base is gonna clamor about like how this clown is right here. Because Last of Us Remastered is a joke to even call that a remastered game. When you see side-by-side comparisons of the PS4 version versus this remastered in quotation marks, it is literally a joke. You can't tell the difference at all. They added, Ellie can use a space astronaut outfit. She can wear some flannel shirts. Who freaking cares? And also, you can play songs on a guitar now. And he got some other guy, I guess he made the songs for Last of Us, I don't know, but some random Gustavo guy. You can play as him in a guitar mode. Who cares? Or you can play this whole little separate mode, this survival horde mode. You fight against a different infected or different enemies. I mean, that's cool and all, but for $10, cool? Like, why can't that be a free update? Like, or why was that included with the first Last of Us Part 2 game released 3 years ago? Why is that just now you gotta now pay for that? I don't know. Especially since they just didn't include factions. Faction is a thing that's not being done anymore. So you think they at least give you give you that thing for free to try to make it the hurt for factions not being there be less. So it could be less pain you get for not playing for realizing you don't have the factions mode. But nope, pay $10. There you go. Or pay $70 if you're just a real just not bright person. Pay $70 for the physical copy. I was like, this Naughty Dog has become a joke. PlayStation fanboys are celebrating this joke, just willingly, just happy, saying, "Hey, I will definitely give you my $70, Naughty Dog, for a game I played 3 years ago, with very minimal improvements." It's like, jeez. People brag about them selling 50 million consoles with stuff like this. It's just a joke. Xbox will be doing well soon. Just you fanboys and toxic console wars on both sides. Okay. A live look at PlayStation community today celebrating the reserve IPs with lackluster changes from the same game engine and the name of remasters. Yeah, this is an embarrassment to remasters or remakes or whatever you want to call it. This is just an embarrassment. They shouldn't even have that title at the end of it. Like, there needs to be like a better business bureau for... There needs to be something that checks these guys for, like, you know how this community notes on Twitter says, "Hey, this isn't really that accurate." Don't put in a term remaster. Should have a community notes attached to it because this is not really that remaster at all. I don't care if Digital Foundry has to like zoom in like 500% to tell you there's some slight changes. You can't see a difference. The average person can't tell you the difference at all. So you're right. Xbox can never release 5 games to a franchise that only has 2 main entries. Shots fired. Jeez, that is just so pathetic. Sony could never. This is an actual remaster right here. This Halo Combat Evolved, when they released that, that's an actual remaster. And even had a mode, you can see the old Halo when it originally released versus the new remaster version they did. And that's a 9-day difference. This remaster, what they're calling remaster Last of Us, is just a joke. A game that is not even 4 years old getting a remastered, that's just stupid. It's really dumb. Me watching Xbox have a meltdown over this, yes. They're having a meltdown, not just saying this is just a stupid thing that Sony is doing, and their fan base is eating up. Yeah, totally a meltdown right there. Then this other dummy wants to say Xbox guys are crying about this. Really? Oh man. You know, I'll be crying if Sony, if this is the standard for the industry, that Sony, if this game is successful for Sony, that's when I really will be crying about this, because it's like, once again, this is BS. If this is the standard where 3-year-old games get remasters, that's just pathetic. It doesn't need to happen. Because Sony is so devoid of actual like imagination or creativity, They can only give you remasters. Let's see. PlayStation has no games. Okay. LOL, a game that came out 4 years ago and was hated by fans. They basically reviewed the same game from 3 years ago. What an L. Yeah. Do you need to make a new review for the story? It's the same story. You just remaster. You just giving critics on the new mode that's added. Could never charge $10 for a barely remastered game only a few years after release. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I hope Xbox never does that. Where they charge you $10 for a barely remastered game and barely any changes to it. Yeah, I hope Xbox never copies that model right there. The Last of Us Part 2 Scam Edition. Okay. You gotta be another level of Sony fanboy to deride The Last of Us 2. I love PlayStation, but hell nah. Yeah. And the fact that when they announced that special collector's edition for Last of Us 2 Remastered, people were saying, hey, I will pay you, take my money, Naughty Dog, for this nonsense. I'm like, bruh, the game industry is so screwed if this is the current climate of the gaming community. It's just going down the drain at this point. People are literally bragging about this game, which has very little difference at all. Remaster a game that's one generation old is real dumb. There's a lot of games from PlayStation that they can remaster, that's first party wise, but while they're doing this, it doesn't make any sense. Digital Foundry have just said there's little difference for the free PS5 patch version, so we are just seeing paid reviews coming out. You're right, Xbox can never think about or get away with charging for a remake to get a game that came out only just the other day. You sir couldn't be more right. They're just bad no matter how you try to spin this. PlayStation has really fallen, shaking my head. Yeah, because I really want to play. If I really want to play The Last of Us 2 again, I would just boot up the PS4 copy on the PS5. I was like, I wouldn't even pay $10 extra. Like, why even do that? This is such a waste of a product that's been out here. It's just like Sony just releases products that just so it makes no sense why they just serve no purpose. Like with the PlayStation Portal, I don't see the purpose of using that. Last of Us Part 1 remastered for PS5, didn't see a use for that. This Part 2 remastered, don't see a use for that. PSVR, I don't care about that. There's just a trend of them just releasing products I just don't care about. I just see no purpose in them even making. So that's the current Sony that people love so much. Just release crap that nobody really needs. And they're remastering their system with the PS5 Pro, that's rumored. So they're going to do remasters apparently at PlayStation. This is a cash grab. Even you should know this. They've become a highly incompetent studio. Yeah, from this studio that was really highly regarded at one point. They can only make remasters. They can't make multiplayer games along with their single player games. They can only do remasters. They can only make single player games at this point, which is like, really. But you have the audacity to criticize Halo. Like, at least Xbox can make Halo games be single and multiplayer focused. Well, apparently Naughty Dog can only make single player games. They can't even do multiplayer games anymore. Let's see. Of course, they don't need to remaster a game less than 5 years old. It's absolutely pointless. I agree with that sentiment. So I'm going to include it right here. People are just saying the same sentiment that this remaster is just a joke. And I agree. This is such a joke of a game, especially from PlayStation, which is the market leader. Just keep releasing trash that nobody needs or wants. But, you know, the fan base is going to eat it up and say, hey, look, it's a 92 on Metacritic. It must be a must play, right? Because it has a stupid badge. And it's like, this product is stupid. You're paying $70 for this game. It's kind of hard for me to refrain from calling you an idiot, but to everybody, each their own. You want to buy this for $7, good for you. I'm not gonna judge you. I'm kind of slightly gonna judge you, but not really. I don't care what you do with your money at the end of the day. But to each their own. But I'm gonna include it right here. Definitely want to see your thoughts down below about this. Leave a like this video, and as always, thanks for watching, and peace.